So today I'm reprinting an image that I printed earlier in the week. I wanted a slightly different version, so here we go. I've already got the paper laid down onto the baseboard and I've taped it into place because these large mural printing papers are usually in a roll and they curl up quite a bit. And I've covered that paper while I'm working with some cardboard. That'll protect it from the safe light, and it gives me a little bit more time to work without allowing the safe light to fog the paper. So now I'm going to dim the safe light and get to printing. I like the safe light to be fairly dim when I'm working with this paper because the exposures tend to be pretty long and there's a lot of risk of fogging. So I'm removing that cardboard. I'm just going to set it aside over here. I'll use it later. Okay, now I'm going to use some canned air. And I just like to spray off the paper, just in case any pieces of dust or some hair fell on there while I was getting set up. So for this print, I've got a 50-second exposure, and I'm going to dodge one area of it for 10 seconds. And because of that, I have the audible timer set, which has a beeping sound. That is kind of handy because it allows me to hear the seconds, and it helps me to keep track of my dodging. So here we go. So that's it for my dodging. I'm going to turn the beeping off so I don't have to listen to it. Those timers are pretty handy though, because it's nice to be able to hear the sound of the seconds as they pass instead of having to look at the timer. It's a long exposure, long wait. But for a mural print, that's not super long. Sometimes they can be into the whole minutes. So 5 seconds more. I'm going to do a little bit of burning around the edges on this print because I'm printing these with a nice, like a big black border, and I want it to be really black. I don't want it to be sort of fading in almost black. I just really want to make sure that it's totally black, especially on that side where I did the dodging, because the dodging kind of took away some of the exposure to that black bordered edge. So I'm going to do all 4 sides here. Okay, I'm just giving it another few seconds on each side. Okay. I've got a little foot switch for my timer. Really handy for stuff like this, wherein using my hand to reset the timer would be really challenging. I'm just going to go over again because I'm a little fussy about it. Make sure it's good and exposed. I'm also maybe going to do a little burning on this corner of the picture. I'd like the edges to be a little bit darker. Especially since I did some dodging over there. It's nice and dark. Okay, so now I've got the main part of the print done. I am again going to take this cardboard and cover up the paper like so. So I am using this cardboard to cover the image area, and I'm going to actually burn in the sides a little bit more. You can see that the edges of this enlarger, the corners, they don't quite cover that, the light doesn't quite cover that part. So I actually have been filling that part in by hand with a little flashlight. So it's a little tedious, but the results are well worth it. Okay, so I just turned the enlarger down to the smallest f-stop on the lens so I can see where I need to add a little bit more light to burn in those areas. So just using a little flashlight. I made a little paper snoot to control the light. And I'm also using a darkroom squeegee. It's a little black squeegee to press up against the paper to make sure that the seal is really tight and I don't accidentally shine that flashlight underneath the cardboard. So I'm repositioning it for the next corner. I suppose if I was going to do a lot more printing, I might cut a piece of cardboard to the right size. Okay, let's see. That's pretty good. Just a little bit more, just to make sure. And a little bit more here. Okay, so 2 more corners to go. One of these days, I will make some adjustments to my enlarger so that I don't have to go through this whole process. One benefit, though, of doing this is that if there was maybe a little dust spot in that black area, I could fill it in with the light, and then I wouldn't have to spot it out later. It's kind of nice that way. I've noticed that on my smaller prints that I fill in all around the edge, that I no longer get those irritating little dust spots around the edge. Okay, one more corner. I'm trying to lift this cardboard up as best as I can. I'm really trying not to accidentally re-expose the picture. I did just a little bit a second ago. But because I have the f-stop all the way to the smallest opening, I don't remember what it is on this lens, but because I have it set to that, the amount of exposure that it's accidentally getting is not very much, so I don't think it'll show. Okay, so final corner. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, so that's the main part of the exposure. All done. Now comes another tricky part, also involving this piece of cardboard. This cardboard is 32 by 40, and that's the size I'm going to cut this paper to. Brightening up the safe light again, and I'm going to try to track down my ruler, which I had out here. Here it is. I'm just trying to make it pretty even because that'll give me get the framer sort of a good guidance to do the trimming for the framing. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go for it. Okay, so what I've been doing is once I get the paper all lined up with the cardboard lined up where I want it, then I can go ahead and use a marker and just draw around the edges. Now I need my scissors. There we are. Okay. Now since I drew the line, I know exactly where to cut it, and then it's going to be just the right size. The reason that I do it now is it's just a lot easier than trying to cut it to the exact size when it's still on the roll. And also it's kind of convenient because now as I cut, I'm just releasing the print from the baseboard. Track a little bit. Again. Not even sure this is showing up on the camera. I'm just trimming away that paper. And trimming all four sides. The reason that I'm trimming it down to this size is because the large trays that I have here in the darkroom are just barely big enough to fit 32 by 40. Any larger than that, like if I left it at the 42-inch length, would be really hard to manage in the tray. You'll see once I get it into the tray why that's so important. Okay. It's like tape went over a little bit. That's okay. So that's going to get trimmed off eventually anyway. I'm just going to take that tape off because I don't want it getting into the chemistry. And just one more side to go, I think. Two more sides to go. As you can see, mural printing is quite a physical ordeal. It requires a little bit of